Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Drake Valot with Gunk. Today, we're bringing you a special talk about the end of the world for Stars Reach. So, the Stars Reach team had an event this past playtest. It was a couple of days ago, and it was an event that they had told all the players that it was a must see. um, we wanted to be there. We wanted to be recording, and a lot of players turned out, and a lot of players were definitely recording. So, if you're looking at the video, we ended up getting 7 different points of view of the destruction of Mycityum on Pyromyces. So, all the planets at this point were no more. Pyromyces was the last planet to be destroyed. And the destruction of this planet took roughly 15 minutes to fully destroy the planet, and it was no more. So, a little bit of background for why these planets are being destroyed. So, it's something new that Stars Reach is going to be. It's going to be a complete, almost like refresh of these planets. So the original planets, the original 5, so your Ascarion, Gaiamar, Pyromyces, Rodin 4, and Zeraxa are going to be no more. It's going to be a figment of our imagination. It's the past of Stars Reach, the history. So now we're going to have new planets. We're not necessarily sure what that's going to consist of. If we're going to have a couple planets, if this is going to be 5 planets again, it's we'll find out this Thursday. So in just over 48 hours, we'll have a much better understanding of what the future of Stars Reach will look like. I imagine it's going to look a lot more beautiful. Graphics are going to be better. We're going to have the procedurally generated worlds. The Stars Reach team has been working tirelessly with these wild wormhole planets to kind of create these beautiful living planets. For example, if you look at cave systems that existed on the wild wormhole planets, weeks and weeks ago, they were good, but now if you take a look at, like, say, the last 4 wild wormhole planets, the cave systems that exist are phenomenal. You could spend 30 minutes just exploring the entire cave systems under the planet. So it again gives players more to explore. So now they'll be able to replace these more hand worked through and hand built planets, which the original 5 were. And now you're going to get these procedurally generated planets that are going to be all updated with their newest technology and their newest systems in the game. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see, and maybe it's going to be less planets to give more focus. My guess would be probably seeing a couple. One that probably would be more focused on building, maybe more flat. Larger areas would be possible, and then maybe something that's a bit more dangerous, a bit more of an exploratory planet type. And then probably a wild wormhole. So if I were to take a guess, I'd probably say about 3, but we're going to see this Thursday and see how accurate that guess is. So if you're available for playtesting and jumping in the game Thursday, probably a test you're going to really want to see, because we're going to start to see the new planets we're going to be dealing with for who knows how long. The devs have definitely talked about they're still under the same mentality of they don't want to wipe unless it's absolutely necessary. So this video is the culmination of roughly about 3 months of no wipes, which is amazing. Like the fact that they were able to do all the many updates they did in that time and never have to wipe everything once is pretty good for a pre-alpha game. So keep that in mind that they're going to try and do. They don't want to wipe unless they have to. So maybe we'll see another 3 months. Maybe it'll be two. Maybe it'll be more. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on it, but know that that is still their goal. They don't want to do wipes. So I know Gunk were looking at doing a spaceship build to kind of go along with the lore of what's going on here. Um, we're trying to save. This was actually when we thought a artifact was going to take out Pyromyces. That's when kind of the idea was hatched that we were going to send a giant Gaia class ship to come and help save and evacuate the Pyromyces colony, Mycityum, which was talked about in lore. Now, with all of this change, it kind of actually makes it more interesting. And we're going to have to kind of wait for the lore to come out to fully understand if this was some random event or if there was something else kind of behind it. But regardless, a Gaia class ship coming to evacuate still works perfectly with this. It's just instead of an artifact destroying the planet, it's a cataclysmic event, meteorological event. So the plan's still on for creating this giant ship in space that we're going to evacuate the colonists from all the different planets. So keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in joining this build, we're going to be talking about it in the official Stars Reach Discord, as well as the Gunk Discord, which it will be a link below. But I think it's going to be a large ship. We're still working on the exact specifications of it, but it's going to be another fun project that hopefully lots of players can enjoy. A nice space build. But as you can see, as we're kind of looking through this, some of the fun facts that was going on during this time. We had one of the developers, Rodney. He was basically controlling these meteorological events. And it was kind of talked about what we kind of wanted to see happen to Mycityum. And many of the players were just like, send as many meteors as you can and just knock out Mycityum. And so aiming is not the easiest we've heard, but Rodney was a wizard and was able, without not too many tries, was able to lock right in on Mycityum and just started absolutely raining down meteors. And I think all the players had a great time as we watched this happen, because we were just wondering, like, how much of it was still going to exist after the bombardment. Because yes, while a lot of it was built with Instaformer blocks, which are essentially quote unquote immune to creature damage or stuff of that nature, at least for now, there's still a lot of it. Like you can see this outer portion, this shell portion, it is still deposited material, which is not indestructible. You can definitely see some holes along it, so it's definitely doing damage. But after this 15 minutes of bombardment, you'll see that it actually is still standing, and the outer shell is doing actually pretty good. But one of the things that's so interesting, that because this is like an event, like this is one of their first events they've put on, and it really brings the community together. We had a huge fight earlier in the day that brought, I think it was like 26 people, I think I counted, that were just all fighting I mean, it was hundreds of owl deer and stuff of that nature. um, and it just brings everyone together, these type of events. And the finale for the destruction of the planets being in um, on Mycityum, on Pyromyces. I think it was a fitting finale for everything, since so much of the community put in. It wasn't just gunk. It was, I mean, it was 30 plus people that had contributed in some way to Mycityum. I think it was a real fitting end um, to these planets to end up here, to have this ginormous structure that was built by players, and to have the event end here. So you actually kind of see here, you have Steam. So uh, it was getting to see so many different things. I think Rod had just dropped a bunch of lava right on Mycityum. So it's one of those things, as you can see, trying to fly through here. It doesn't end up well because it's very hot, as you would imagine. And so literally getting cooked and gonna end up dying any second now. Uh, but it's one of those things that can't wait for being able to see this in live game, where yes, this is all kind of simulated, and the dev talked about how you're not going to actually see this kind of craziness in the game where they're handling it and doing that type of stuff. But you're still going to see Steam, you're still going to see these meteor storms. It's just not going to be to this kind of degree. Maybe eventually we'll see some craziness, but for at least now, this is all simulated. This is an event they put on. But seeing what was possible and just being a part of the event, it was like you're part of that history. And as you can see, there are at least 7 people uh, videoing this. And there were definitely more. There were people streaming, multiple people streaming, multiple people were recording, because they wanted to make sure this history was documented. And just looking through the Discord, seeing all the different players posting YouTube videos with different angles and all that type of stuff, it really um, is fun to see. You're truly documenting all of this rich Stars Breach history, and it's going to go down in the history books. Like I think it was Carneros that had said that we're going to be talking for this years to come, and I guarantee that will happen. You're going to hear this when people put together, and people already have, on just like some history. People are keeping track of character logs about what's going on. This is going to be an event you're going to hear about over time, just because of how big it was, and there's just the nostalgia of all the testers. Like, so many of us have played so long on these planets, and it's kind of bittersweet seeing them finally go away, and then kind of moving forward. So that's one of the fun things about being a part of the pre-alpha, is you're part of the literal history, the making of this game. Beyond just giving feedback, you get to actually live the game, which I think that's a big plus of Stars Reach, is the lore, the building that living universe, that living galaxy, that sandbox feel. And you can see here the sim starting to crash, and this is the destruction of Mycityum, and it will be no more. So I want to thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. I know we enjoyed this entire scenario, and we'll have the Discords linked below. Feel free, if you enjoyed this video or other content we've done, please feel free to like and subscribe. And we hope to see you around and see what the future of Stars Reach brings. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and looking forward to the future tests. Have a good one.